Hey, so babe, welcome to day 6 of Journal Back to Your Soul. So today I wanted to talk about the quality of your relationships, the love that you're calling in, right? It's a reflection of yourself. And on social media, we are told, this is what makes a great partner. This is what doesn't make a great partner. And there's a lot of scare stories. There are a lot of um, the negative side of relationships. We're always focusing on the negative side. And if you haven't noticed it, you've been collecting it in your psyche. When you're not a conscious consumer, you're just going in and you're fully engaged, and it becomes part of you. You're like a sponge, right? So now you're having these mental conversations, mental arguments, even when you're trying to date, even when you're spending time with your honey, and you're seeing your honey through the lens of society. You're seeing your honey through the lens of the comment section, right? So being conscious of the quality of relationships you're creating in your mind eye, right? Because this all starts with you. People are always going to be people, right? You can't control how other people show up from outside. You can control how you engage with them, the quality, the level you engage on here. And it's a lot of work. I won't lie, it's not easy, okay? It's not. But the journey will remind you that what's important to you. Do you want a fulfilling life, or do you want a life, right? If you notice that you're just having these relationships with people you do not trust, it's possibly because you don't trust yourself, right? Because if you trust yourself first, when you're engaging with others, right? When you trust yourself, you're in tune with your intuition, you're in tune with your inner being, you're in tune with your desires, you're in tune with making the right decision, you're in tune with flow, you're in tune with life, right? So how other people show up doesn't really affect you because your house is strong. You're rooted and grounded in who you are, right? So knowing who you are is always paramount. And 2, knowing how you engage with thoughts in your psyche. You know your own patterns when you're what triggers a certain momentum of thought, right? For example, you might feel one moment, because moments of insecurity, like feeling insecure, feeling I'm pretty, it's just a moment, right? But when the moment gets stretched out, you keep feeding it, feeding, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The experience becomes denser and denser and denser. But when you become more aware of these thoughts that are coming in, and that moment, you're very intimate with your consciousness, with yourself, to the point where you're aware when that moment of feeling insecure comes in, and you notice what kind of thoughts come in, what kind of inspirations come in. Like maybe you have this fantasy of this dream guy who never unrequited love, right? This guy who never gave back your love. He was just like your dream guy, and you never really allowed him into your existence. You never let him in because you didn't think you were worthy. You didn't think you're pretty enough. You didn't think he liked you, right? But every time you feel insecure, you play this fantasy of you got him chasing you. But low key, whilst you're doing that, low key, you know that you feel insecure, you feel like you're not worthy of it. You're not allowing that kind of experience into your reality, right? So when you're thinking about your dream man, right? Even if you have him right now, because we're not perfect, we're here to have a human experience. So even your dream man might have human experiences too. But when coming back to your soul, it's all about relinquishing control of everything that's going on outside of yourself, and coming home to your inner sanctuary, reminding you what reality you're playing on, what playing field you're on, right? Because life is going to continue being life. But if you're engaged with every little detail that happens, you're giving away your power. 1, 2, you're inviting in chaos. You're part of the chaos. When chaos happens, it's movement, right? You got to think on a higher level. Because if you're just like so engaged within the chaos and you're part of the chaos, you don't realize that you need to pull back and watch what's going on. Like, oh, this motion, this movement, how can I channel this to move this movement to move towards my goals, my desires, right? That's how a goddess works. You work on the realm. God or goddess works on the realm of higher consciousness, your higher self, right? And you don't take anything personally because everyone's having a human experience. Everybody is projecting their own story. But when you're aware of the story you're projecting, and you're aware of your current weaknesses, right? You're aware and you're very honest with yourself, right? And you're very intimate with, why am I entertaining this fantasy, right? Why does it feel good, right? Oh, because I'm escaping my reality. And in this fantasy, I feel superior, I feel chosen, I feel I'm loved, I feel seen, I feel wealthy. Okay, come back into reality and see, how can I make myself feel like that right now, right here, right? Because when you realize that you're escaping your reality and going into fantasy mode, it's because there's something in reality that you're resisting, you're not accepting that it exists, right? And we do that so many ways with escaping. It could be fantasizing, it could be your vices, it could be TV, it could be going on social media, it could be just not staying still and not meditating, right? We have our own escaping tendencies, okay? So it's just a matter of knowing which one is yours, which one do you tend to gravitate towards, and being honest about why you're escaping. Because if you don't bring awareness and you're not digging deeper with curiosity, and we're not doing this out of judgment, we're doing this out of curiosity, out of self-love, out of wanting to love our inner child even more and cherish it and do the best to fulfill it, right? Because remember, you are your true love. So when you're not pouring into yourself, the world is not going to pour into you. You got to pour into you first. You got to give yourself the love that you're seeking outside of yourself. That means that when you're seeking it in other people, it means you got some work to do, unfortunately, right? Everybody else can only reflect the love that's within. Or maybe if you're lucky enough, you might be gifted with people whose love is so, it's overflowing and it pours into you and you're like, wow, right? And it inspires you to love yourself too. It shouldn't be like a love where you're like, oh, give me, give me, give me, give me. It should be like, oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Okay, I have this capacity to receive love from others. So that means I have this capacity to love myself too, right? So be patient with yourself. You know, when you're getting out of this dark hole, when you're getting out of this unwanted story, okay? It's gonna feel scary, it's gonna feel lonely, but this is your opportunity to love yourself out of this dark hole. It's your opportunity to nourish your soul. It's an opportunity to know yourself and dismantle stories that do not align with you anymore, right? Because you have to decide. You have to decide whether you want this life or you don't want. If you don't want this life, if you don't want this level of playing, of this level of co-creating, disengage, right? So if something happens, well, you missed your bills and already your mind is like, oh, I'm a person who doesn't pay rent on time, who doesn't pay bills on time. You're playing on that level, right? But if you disengage, right, you're like, I'm aware that right now my bills are late, right? But I'm trusting the flow because my bills are always paid on time, right? You're coming back home to yourself, which is your self-concept, right? Your self-concept is what your house, your foundation for your house, your foundation for your sanctuary, because you're laying energetic boundaries for your existence, for your experiences, right? And this is what reminds you, it's a reminder for yourself, like, oh, this is how I retain my peace, right? And seeing everyone as an extension of you too, on the highest level. Yes, we're here to have a human experience, we're here to co-create. Yes, but when you see everyone as an extension of yourself and you treat them as such, then you're on your pathway to create your El Dorado, your heaven on earth, because you're seeing it as a personal responsibility to always finish the loop towards love, because it's never going to be perfect, right? We're going to have disgruntles, we're going to have conflict, we're going to hit a wall, we're like, oh, this doesn't feel right, oh, I feel like I went 100 steps ahead and now I'm like 1,000 steps behind. We keep flowing and we keep trusting and allowing the experience to mold us, to gift us its wisdom, right? And remember, we're not rushing this process. We're allowing the process to mold us, to wake up to visions of us that we even forgot were there, because life, our family, the portal we came through, with mama wounds, daddy wounds, society wounds, defined us, defined how we view ourselves. So it's now time to shake off the lens of society, of other people, right? So you can see life through your own lens. So during your day, this is your homework for today. Focus on being the version of you who has everything. Don't worry about how, just focus on the feeling, because you're suffering, you're chasing that feeling. That's all you want, right? Everything else is just details. The cars, the job, the person, they're just details. The true thing that you're looking for is the feeling, the expansion, right? So go there, be there. Sometimes it might be hard. You might be like, oh, this is tough. I feel like I'm hitting a lot of resistance. It's okay. Maybe you need help. Maybe that means you need to go and watch a movie. Maybe that means that you need to listen to some music that makes you feel wealthy. Maybe that means that you need to wear that dress. Maybe it means that you're just disengaging with thoughts of your current thoughts, right? Because they're not doing any you justice, and revising them continuously. Like, no, I make a lot of money. Even though I might not have experienced it yet, I know it's in my heart, which means that this is my new reality. So my new job from here onwards is to dismantle all those thoughts, rewire all those thoughts of poverty, of lack, so that I have a container to receive, right? Because if you're not conscious, if you're not like open like this, where is the universe? Where is God gonna put the opportunity, the money? How is it going to flow towards you? So you got to be open so it flows in. And that's where your faith comes in, your self-trust and building. If you don't have trust, your homework is to build trust within yourself. How? I'll leave that to you, right? Get to know yourself, love yourself. You're enough. Love starts within first. Everything starts within. Expansion, feeling wealthy, feeling abundant, feeling fulfilled. It's all within. Everyone else is just details. So start having fun, start loving you, start pouring into you continuously, right? Even when you paint your nails, like be really there, like you're painting your little girl's nails, like, oh wow, like I love your nails, I love your fingers. Oh, look at the way your fingers like concave like that. Be really there with yourself. Be really baby yourself. Nurture yourself. And you notice like your soul, your body will begin to relax more and more and more, because it's like, wow, I'm home, right? You're feeling warm and fuzzy, right? Like when you go home, when you're going out on about, your day, and then you come back home to a clean house, soothing music, wine, the best food is hot, your food is ready on the table, you got a little fireplace going on, you got the ocean front view on the patio, and you can hear it in the distance. There's a whole vibe going on in your house, you know, like there's like classic music or your favorite music that just mellows you down. That's how, think of it the same way you think of in your own being, in your own psyche. That's how it should be, right? And the more you do that, the more you become allergic to negativity, the more you become allergic to people who are playing on a lower playing field. Because when you do that, you're slowly raising your level, right? You're leveling up. That's what it is, right? People think of leveling up as cars and houses, to bag a man, right? But the true leveling up is leveling your frequency, leveling up your playing field, leveling up how you engage with life, leveling up what you let into your psyche, right? Because you know your well-being, your inner state is your true currency. Your inner peace is your true currency. All right. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Have fun. This doesn't have to be hard. Flow. Let your soul inspire you to action. All right. Okay. See you on the other side.